Hey, your friends. Last week, I sat down with the guy that started the Ryan Show with me long before it was a radio show, when it was at Yamaku Sushi in Bridgehampton, New York, which, guys, you got to check out. Best sushi restaurant on the east end of Long Island. That's right. David Licasio, best known to the masses as Hamptons Dave, joined me. People wonder, is he still the host of this radio program with you? Absolutely, but he just hates doing it on StreamYard. But unfortunately, this is how I got to do it now. Until my ass can get out the Hamptons and find more time to do interviews in person. So this is a very special place in my heart. Hamptons Dave is my best friend in the whole wide world. So I figured, why not put some content out? And if you like our banter, there's hundreds of episodes available on Spotify of myself, Hamptons Dave, and of course, Mr. Cheeks, talking about just about anything that's happened under the sun over the past 6 years. But without further ado, here's my chat from just last week with Hamptons Dave as we get into Yankee baseball, New York Jets, and more. And yes, it's about a week outdated. I know Robert Sala got fired just tonight. So maybe next week, Hamptons Dave will come back and we'll get into that as well. But without further ado, here's my sit down with one of my best friends in the whole wide world, Hamptons Dave, a.k.a. David Licasio. Let's go. Part 2 of the Ryan Show FM continues right here on this radio station that you're listening at or on our podcast platform. And boy, do I have a treat for you guys. You're not going to believe who's sitting here in front of me. The only white person that I respect on planet Earth. The guy that started this all with me so many years ago. A guy who many people think may have quit the show, but it turns out he really just hates StreamYard. Full transparency. My brother, Hamptons Dave, is back on the Ryan Show FM. Co-host always on this program. Hamptons Dave, how are you, brother?
I'm doing great. And tell everybody out there, I never leave the show. It's always Ryan's show. It's just,
It's just on StreamYard.
Start throwing me Venmos, all you people out there.
Yeah, shoot. Yeah, put your Cash App out there, Hamptons Dave. Put your OnlyFans out there for them to send you some money. Because that's the only way you're getting it from me.
Girl, Snapchat that whole thing.
Oh, man. And it's the best time to have you on. Not just because we can talk Yankees. Hamptons Dave is donning the New York Yankees hat right now. But also because after all the smack that I've talked to you over the past 8 to 10 years, I've kind of lost track of time at this point, about the New York Jets, you kind of have a reason to be happy. So we're going to get into some New York sports here tonight. And look at that. Hamptons Dave is rocking. I think that's a Jets
towel.
shirt. What is that? A towel?
It's a towel, from opening night.
What was the energy like at opening night at MetLife Stadium?
It was great. You know what? Do you want to talk about it now or you want to go into it later?
Let's go. Let's get into it.
It was great. They manhandled the Patriots. It was amazing to see the whole game. It was so comfortable. I started indulging in some magic mushrooms, and I was having a blast with the Patriot fans. I was having a blast with the Jet fans. The one thing that I will say, and I think carried over to the next game, is I don't know where these Jet fans get off. They were like leaving in the middle of the third quarter confidently, like, we do this. Like, as a Jets fan, we shouldn't be there until the end of the fourth quarter to witness a win over the Patriots. Like winning is something that we do and something that we're used to. And like, I'm watching people walk by and they're chanting Super Bowl and this and that. Everybody's having a good time leaving the stadium in the third quarter. Not like the middle of the
Jets never beat the Patriots.
Like in the third quarter against the Patriots, the first win of the season, or second win of the season, I apologize. First home win. You guys are like acting like we do this. Like, I know traffic out of the stadium is a nightmare, but
exactly.
Come on, we don't win.
It's true.
We don't win like this.
Traffic, though. For what it's worth, the traffic leaving MetLife Stadium, you think they would have figured it out by now?
Never. It's the stupidest. Listen, I love whatever. I'm a Jets fan to the die. I love It's the stupidest stadium, literally, in the world. It's like let's rebuild the stadium and let's do high in a time where they had the capability to make it high, state of the art. Let's just build a cement oval.
It makes no sense. You can't even get out of the stadium. They direct you in the wrong way, and the people that work there, asinine. Absolutely asinine. So they'll lead you in a circle. So I think that's why there's so much traffic, because you end up doing a few loops around the stadium in bumper to bumper traffic before you even exit. We had to make an illegal turn last time I was in doing that Savvy Seas tailgate. We didn't even stay for the game. We got trapped in traffic.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
It's the worst. It's like logistically it's just the stupidest. I love it because it's Jet Life Stadium.
Okay,
Jet
whatever you
up.
want to tell yourself.
We're out there. Like when it's turned green, it's amazing. When it's turned blue, it's like corporate. It's like a corporate event. Like
I will
it,
agree with that in the sense of Jets fans are just more fun. And now that I'm going around interviewing wasted football fans, the Jets fans are a lot more fun to mess with. They're more serious about it. They're more feverish about it. They're so
scumbags.
diehard.
We're just a bunch of scumbags having a good time on a Sunday. We're usually washed by the middle of the season anyway. So it's like we're gonna go
Yeah,
turn up and we're gonna have a party at least.
for sure. Now, where are your expectations at this point? We just saw Aaron Rodgers not really able to get the job done. I think to me, that was the most frustrating Jets game that I watched against the Broncos in years. To think
Yeah, I
that they were
mean
that close so many times and just couldn't get it done.
that's like the third Jets game you've probably watched in a couple of years. There's been a lot more very frustrating games. Um, this is what should have been happening on the fourth game of last season.
Mm.
So we're like right there in like where everybody's learning how to be. Like Garrett Wilson at the end of the game, Garrett Wilson cutting up the middle, not even looking. Rodgers, like quick through the ball. Garrett Wilson's not knowing that he's supposed to be looking when that's like because he's used look who he's used to having. Like
Yeah.
he's not knowing that he's probably going to get the ball right when he cuts up the middle like that. Um,
Now that
uh,
you talk about Garrett Wilson not being ready, is that Aaron Rodgers' fault because he wasn't practicing before the season
no, I
started
think
and was
that you
on
got to
God
get
knows what?
used. You got to get used to playing together. This is elite connectability. Like when you hit that elite level, this is different than like him and Zach Wilson being on the same page. Because
True.
Aaron Rodgers is seeing stuff before it even happens, and if they can get on that same page, it's the fourth game they played together. Literally,
Yeah. And he's not,
the
for
fourth
what it's
game
worth, he
they
might
played
not be as
together.
quick on his feet, Aaron Rodgers, but his
I
footwork
mean,
still is there.
he looked fine.
Yeah.
The
And
offensive
and
line the
probably
offensive
the
line
most
was terrible, and it's time for Brees to put up or shut up. Because I'm telling you, we're gonna start giving more and more handoffs to Braylon Allen in the backfield. I love Brees, but you know
I thought you guys
you
had a
can't keep
two-headed
getting two
monster.
yards.
I thought that that ground attack that the Jets had would be the primary offense. And when they get so close to a touchdown and their running backs can't get the job done, how can you really blame Aaron Rodgers?
The offensive line had a terrible game.
Definitely
That offensive
terrible.
line had a
So what I'll say
terrible
this
game.
though, Robert Saleh is probably the most frustrating coach to watch in the NFL. And you're right, I haven't watched that many Jets games because why would I want to watch Zach Wilson and half of these bums that the Jets put out there? But Robert Saleh, watching him coach, he just doesn't seem to hold his players accountable.
That's the one thing I don't like. I like that he's a coach, coach's guy. But like, come on, we can't have six off starts, full starts or
Yeah.
offsides. Like somebody's got to sit. Somebody's got to, like it's time now. It's time
So
now, and
what's
that's
your
what
solution, Hamptons Dave, as a lifelong Jets fan? What do you want to see happen next week as the Jets are playing
I think we're
your
gonna. I
old
think we're gonna tear it
quarterback
up this
in
week. I
England?
think we're gonna tear it up this week. I think we're gonna tear it up this week. I think that listen, they lost the game 10-9. Like if you go into any single football game, I don't care what it's raining, snowing, hailing, tsunami, uh, Hurricane Helen, Hurricane Eileen, Hurricane Katrina. Like, if you tell me that the other team is going to score 10 points to the Aaron Rodgers, like, I'm taking those 90% of the time. I'm going to bet a win. I'm going to bet a win for the Jets. Um, it didn't happen. Things like this happen in football. Like, you know, we almost beat the Chiefs the other year. We beat the Philly, I think. The year we almost beat Philly. No, I think we did beat Philly the year that they went to the Super Bowl. Like these wins happen. It's the NFL. Like it shouldn't happen at home, and it shouldn't happen on a year like this. But you got to chalk one of those. Now we got to get a win that we're not expected to get. We'll even that out.
The schedule's not
Sam Darnold, we're gonna get him. I can't wait.
hold that thought because the schedule is not getting any easier. And to me, when I watch football and I look at the schedules that are laid out in front of the teams, you got to win these games against lousy teams in order
But
to
I'm
have
not
a good
worried. Like
position.
we were talking about this the other day off the air. Like I'm not worried about the Bills. We play the Bills very tough. We play the Bills tough every game. Um, so like I'm not really worried about the Bills. I'm not worried about the Vikings either. I'm not worried
Even
about
though they
really any
have
team. I'm
Brian
worried about
Flores has
San
changed that
Francisco.
defense. Everyone was hating on Brian Flores too because he was within your division when he was with the Dolphins and everybody was hating on him. But what he's doing with the defense is what's scary to me with the Vikings. We're not even talking about Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, by the way, who leads the NFL in touchdowns right now. So, all right, let's take it to Sam Darnold really quick because now this is two Jets quarterbacks that have had complete turnarounds on different teams. Does this have to do with the Jets directly? Is it obviously the Jets? Is it the coaching? Is it the culture? Why is it that Geno Smith and Sam Darnold find success like this on other teams? Is it just a natural progression? These guys are getting older and understand the game.
Yeah, I mean, look at almost every single sport. Um, what's Sam? 26 now?
I
27?
think he's 27.
He was starting at 21 on the Jets. He was the youngest quarterback in the league when he was on the Jets with Adam Gase. So Adam Gase isn't going to help anyone. He's the worst. Like they should have seen at the press conference where he was like this. Like that guy, get rid of him. Like they put him into a lose-lose situation. But then he gets to go to. I think he went right to Carolina, competed on a not so good team. But from Carolina, then he went to San Francisco, where he's in a Shanahan offense, where he's actually in a program where he's actually getting reps with the best team in the league. You know, he's not on a team that's trying to get an identity. He's with a team that has an identity that he knows every single day what he's going into, what he's preparing himself to do. So now he's not 22 anymore, you know, getting bagged lunch from his mother. He's 26, 27, probably has a wife and kids, uh, adult, going to actual work now. Now you're going to work. You're not just playing football at 21, 22 anymore. You're going to work. And he was always skilled. Like Zach Wilson, I love the
If
Jets,
you
and I will ride with my quarterback until he's not my quarterback anymore. But like he didn't show that. Like I looking at Sam Darnold, you could see that he had something. Zach
So you
Wilson,
don't think that Zach Wilson's going to go to another team in 6 years from now
no.
after a few more failures and turning around the same way that
Look who
Geno Smith?
Zach
Because
Wilson
Geno
is
Smith broke
behind.
out later on too. Was Geno Smith like 29 or 30 years old when he was with the Seahawks and actually broke
Yeah,
out?
he went to the Giants. He bounced around. He grew up. He grew up. He had good games on the Jets. Gino.
Yeah,
Gino had
he
way better
definitely
games
did.
on the Jets than both these other quarterbacks. Um, it's just like he was in the Bulls era too. Like that. I mean, I don't know. It's tough.
Well,
They had some teams.
Zach Wilson's the next up to break out if there is going to be one of these
Never.
former
He's not
Jets
going to.
quarterbacks.
He's not
You don't
going
think he's
to.
gonna, get a younger girl, like you said, maybe stop
He
banging his
immediately he
mom's
immediately
friends? And
fell to third string behind Bo Nix and Jared Stidham. Like shot.
Bo Nix was.
He
What do you
went into
think about
camp
really
fighting for the
quick?
first spot. He went into camp with an opportunity given to be the number one quarterback and fell to third string.
Bo Nix is pretty nice though. I could see little glimpses of him maybe being a good quarterback. At
Did you
least I've only
watch
watched
him?
him play one
Did,
game. When
did you watch him?
yeah, I
I
saw
mean,
a few
granted, it was a
passes that
terrible. It was terrible. His throws were terrible. He made maybe two good throws that game.
I don't know. I saw some glimpses. I still think that Bo Nix could do it, man. I really do.
He's not. I'm not buying. Not buying that stock. Not buying that stock. I'm not buying this. I saw enough of Zach Wilson. Um, I'm not buying that. His arm is amazing. That is electric. But the head, Sam Darnold had a head. Sam Darnold had a head. Sam
Mm.
Darnold just went into the worst organization at the time, the worst offense, and went against Bill Belichick that was wanting to make him look bad. And that's where he lost it with the Jets is where he said, I see ghosts. He said it's like there's
That's right.
ghosts out there. And that's like,
I hated that weakness
yeah.
that you cannot have from the captain, or I should say, the most important position on the team. We're going to go to a quick break, Hamptons Dave, and we're going to talk quickly about Savvy Seats and this amazing tailgate that's going down. You can catch myself and the great Hamptons Dave at the Savvy Seats tailgates every single time there's a MetLife Stadium game. What's going on at these tailgates, you wonder? all you can drink, all you can eat, and that includes mushrooms. You can eat whatever you want to stick in your mouth. Ayahuasca. Be like Aaron Rodgers. Have some fun at these tailgates. Go to savvyseats.com and order up tickets. Use promo code Ryan and get a discount. The Savvy Seats tailgates. Go now and check it out at savvyseats.com. That's SAVVY seats.com. We will be back soon. Nobody go anywhere. We're going to talk some Yankees. Oh, and Hamptons Dave. Before we go anywhere, we're gonna play some of your music right now. So, oh man, before we get into the Yankees, we're gonna play some music and get into your fledgling rap career. Hamptons Dave, the greatest MC out of the Hamptons, besides myself, is here tonight. We'll be back soon. Don't go nowhere. After countless hours of freestyling in the car, after actual anthologies of Mike Chase diss tracks, Hamptons Dave has decided to release music and music videos. I gotta say, dude, as you know, there's Ryu and Ken. Well, there's also Hamptons Dave and Ryan when it comes to the freestyle back and forth. And I gotta say, you might have just Ryu'd me a little bit because that music that you're putting out is tremendous. What is it that inspired you to actually do it?
uh, I've always been freestyled since that was what we did. We go on blunt rides as a kid, put on an instrumental, and rap. There was always somebody that was in the crew that was nice. Shout out to my boy Darren. Then when I went to college, my boy Cook makes music now in Syracuse. Uh, Steve Cook, check his out. He's nice. Um, Hoping to get him on a track, but he was nice, and like it just made me want to be better because I hate not being nice at something. I hate not being good at something. So I worked at it. Like it's something crazy. Like anytime I would drive, put on an instrumental and freestyle on any instrumental at any time, and to be able to at any point give at least 10 bars in a cipher,
I
and then I
gotta give
was
you a damn roses, dude. You're
since
not
we've
even
been
writing it, and you're able to get up there. It's all that freestyling. You don't even need to write. You hear Jay Z and Benny the Butcher and all these guys. You hear about them going into studio not having to use pen and paper. Well, you literally don't. So I gotta, as much as I break your balls behind the scenes,
nah, it's shout out to everybody, all the legends that we're with, and like the studio time that I spent with them, like being at Def Squad and like seeing people work and being around that. It's like, all right, if I got all this here, why not try to put something out? I just want something that somebody could go on title and search Hamptons Dave.
it's great, man. And yo, you're on there with legends. That's the whole thing too. Is most people when they start their rap career, they've got years of grinding to do. Well, the years of grinding that you did were behind the scenes, partying with these great legends, interviewing them on our show, and now you have tracks out with Mr. Cheeks, Tragedy Gaddafi, and many, many more. Agallah.
Agallah the
You're on
Don.
his actual album. I mean, it's pretty freaking cool, dude.
Shout
So,
out my man
hey,
Ox, Big Ox too, who's
Big Ox.
you know, that's the studio, that's Idea Factory,
Pretty cool stuff, dude.
trying to trying to make it work. You'll see me, like I said, you always see me when you're not. Check your girls' DMs. Check your girls' playlist now.
Check his Spotify.
Yeah.
See what she's listening to. Good stuff. So, dude, it's finally that time. We wait all year. The regular season doesn't matter. Last year was it was a lot less stressful for me, honestly, because the Yankees didn't make the playoffs. Super disappointing, a horrible regular season, but now real baseball is
I don't
beginning.
watch. I don't watch. If the Jets lose and the Yankees lose on a Sunday, I do not listen to sports talk radio on the Monday. I can't. It's just annoying. I don't want to listen to it over and over and over and over again. Um, and I won't watch. I'm sorry. I won't watch the World Series. I won't watch the Yankees strictly. This is business time. Saturday, you'll see me at the stadium. I will be there. Um, I mean, this is it. This is what we do. There's no better place in the world than 161 River Avenue in the Bronx.
You're
Um,
a true bleacher creature. I must say, as much Yankees baseball as I watch, it's mostly on television. You're
shout out
going to
to
these games.
Also shout out to the Terrace Squad, that's who I've been rocking with more now. The Bleacher Creatures is crowded. Shout out to them. They hold it down. They like. I really think if Juan Soto stays, one of the real reasons that he's gonna stay is the love that he gets from the creatures and like the way that right field communicates with him. Like you don't see it on TV really, but when you're there, it's crazy. Like he's always talking to the fans. The fans are always screaming Juan Soto. Like Judge is the captain. Judge took the city by storm. Judge is good. Judge will have the key to the city for the rest of his whole entire life. Soto is like that's, as I want to say, Soto's that special talent. Like Judge is just as special, but like Soto, we need to keep Soto. Mission goal, keep Soto with the Yankees. Move him to left field. We get a right. Put Jason Dominguez in right field, or put him in center, and you move Judge back to right field.
To treat watching him play baseball and watching him hit. We've been talking about this also behind the scenes. In between the pitches is when Soto is the most fun to watch.
Yeah, in
Watching how
between everything, there's interaction with everything with the players. Like in between outs with the fans, with like so now they have this thing in the outfield who they're going to throw the ball to, and they make both sides, left field or right field, cheer, and they put their glove up to right field, they cheer. Put their glove up to left field, cheer, and they decide like you know who's going to get the ball. So it's like it's the interaction is more than I've ever seen with the players in the outfields and the actual players. That the just the feeling, the energy around the stadium was different this year from the start. Um, but now it's playoffs. It's play. I wish everybody could feel the energy, the difference, like the shift, how it gets into like I get into a different mode. Like I'm like Batman out there at Yankee Stadium.
you
Like
are.
I remember a cop was trying to get a fan that was cheering all night. Was about to kick him out, and I walked over and I said, "Don't do it. It's not worth it. It's playoffs. It's not worth it. He's not doing anything wrong. He's not cursing. He's not fighting with anybody." Banging on the wall, I said, "That's me. If you want to kick me out, then you need to kick out the number one fan." The cop just laughed and walked away. The kid looked at me and goes, "Who are you?" I said, "Just let's go Yankees." And
Who
then
are you?
immediately I walked back over to my section, and they have a Yankee employee in a suit. We're in like the seventh inning of a game. We're losing or something. It's like crucial. This kid's yawning and like looking at his clock. I said, "Are you checking your clock to see what time it is?" And yawning, "You're tired?" I said, "Get out of my section." I said, I'm about to write a letter to your boss. I said, "Get out of my section. Go somewhere else. I do not want your energy. This is Yankee playoff baseball. I don't need some dude in a suit upset that he's working overtime. Get out of my section. Get out."
Get out of my section. Yeah, you really do hold it down in that stadium. Truly one of these legendary fans out there in the crowd. And you mentioned the energy. It's just different this year in general around Yankee Stadium and the Yankee fandom. Everybody's watching baseball again. I think it just could be the year. It's a legendary team. We said this in the beginning of the year. We predicted that the Yankees would finally win the World Series. We've never seen two players in the lineup hit so well, and they're right next to each other. And we saw the great Yankee teams. We saw Jeter and A-Rod,
Yep.
Giambi, Martinez, Burt
Teixeira,
Williams, O'Neal. So
Tex.
many, yeah, that's right, to share it. So many of these great players, but there is nothing like the number 2 and 3 spot in that lineup right now. Is this finally the year that Aaron Judge plays well in the postseason? I think that's the X factor. Everyone talks about Carlos Rodon being the X factor. Whoever it is, Luke Weaver coming out there and closing games. Is he the X factor? To me, the X factor is the captain of the Yankees. Is Aaron Judge going to
Yeah,
hit
he's got to get
a
going
buck
because our team
35 in the
goes with
post?
him. Our team goes with him. Like we go when he goes. When he's going, we go. We can't have a void in that spot. It's almost like clockwork. John Carlos is going to show up in the playoffs. He's literally been our best playoff player for the last probably 5 times, whatever, 4 times we went to the playoffs. It's time for Judge, but now Judge has Soto. Like you can't walk all these guys. We're gonna miss. We're really gonna miss Rizzo. He's like
Oh
the
yeah,
glue. Judge is the captain, but Rizzo is like the glue. He's the head. He keeps everybody together. Like there's not one thing I always like about Rizzo is there's not one meeting at the mound, whether it's catcher, pitcher, or pitching coach or manager that comes out that Rizzo's not involved in at the mound. Every single meeting he's there at the mound.
yeah,
He's the captain. He's the infield captain, but he holds it down. And
yeah,
another thing
and
is
yeah,
we need Wells to hit. Get out of the slump.
yeah,
It's time now
yeah. It's time.
because
And
he's
even
crucial.
though he's
He's very
rookie,
crucial to our
so
team.
crucial. And Trevino has just not been playing
No, we can't
good
play
baseball like he
Trevino.
was.
Don't play Trevino. Maybe if I don't even know if he catches for Garrett anymore. I think Wells catches for Garrett. Garrett
He's
usually always
still
has his own catcher, but
was Rortvedt
I'm
is
not
no
sure
longer
because
there.
Trevino they just run on him.
Yeah, exactly. And to think that he won a platinum glove,
That was
was that only
straight
2
off.
years ago?
That was straight off his what do you call it? Framing
Framing.
is like top notch,
Yeah.
and he ran the staff very good that year. He was huge that year. He
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, it's time. I mean, we look at the rotation right now. They just announced that the game 1 starter, as expected, Garrett Cole. Game 2 starter, as expected, Carlos Rodon. Who do you think is going to be the 3 and 4 pitcher out there during this postseason?
I think they might go Nestor.
Nestor, we've got Schmidt,
I think they go Hill and
Heal.
Nestor. I don't
There's
think they go
one
Schmidt.
problem with every single person that we're naming though is that there's a glaring flaw. Except for Soto. Soto has no glaring flaws. You can say that his defense isn't that good and he doesn't play, right field the way that he should, but I'm sorry. Like he's also made some great plays out there. I feel like most players besides Soto on the Yankees right now have glaring flaws. And that could be the downfall of the Yankees, whether it be Verdugo hitting into double plays,
Well,
Carlos Rodon having a terrible first inning,
you know what
Garrett
seems to
Cole.
happen? You know what seems to happen with this Yankee team is all those flaws come out at the same exact time. It's never like, it spreads out where like Soto's not hitting and Judge is hitting. Like when they go cold together. Um, like if the outfield's playing bad, the pitching's getting rocked too. It's just, um, I think Glaber's going to be big in this postseason. I really think Glaber's going to be big in this postseason.
When we talk about his glaring flaw, base running, or even worse,
Yes,
defense. Just dumb mistakes out of the field. He's a blockhead at times, as much as a great hitter as he can be, and how he steps it up. I saw a stat. I think he was the third best hitter the past 2 months in Major League Baseball. He's got the third best average. So he's doing
yeah.
great. But once again, it's those mistakes that these guys make, like you said, sometimes at the same time, that lead to really bad losses. I just can't shake the thought of that terrible streak. Was it June or was it July? It was wherever they had a great start and then just absolutely collapsed and were the worst team in baseball.
Yeah.
And we could only pray to the baseball gods that the Yankees aren't going to do the same thing in the postseason. So before we take things away, I must ask you, Hamptons Dave, what are your predictions? Do you still think the Yankees are going to win the World
Two
Series? Is
things
it
I
that
want to know.
special team?
Uh, did they say who's playing first?
Ben Rice has been called up to play first base
Is he
in the
going to play?
postseason.
Or I would put Oswaldo Cabrera at first and keep him in the lineup. I don't think you lose anything at all at first base either. He's a great fielder. I like him in the lineup. But Ben Rice, he can get hot and he's done his thing. But I think that was just lightning in a pan and that was done. But we'll see. Yankees, those pinstripes have a way of making people do magical things in the playoffs, especially the postseason. That place is
Especially Jazz Chisholm. Talk
the
about a guy, I made the mistake of saying that everybody has a glaring flaw. He's really stepped it up, and he's playing better third base than he
definitely.
was when he first started. He's just getting better and better. When you have a guy like Rizzo at first
That's what
base that
we
can
were
catch
talking about the
anything,
other day, and I'm saying you
you
watching
were
him
right. I
play.
made the mistake. I
His
said that he
arm.
wasn't. I was thinking more in the beginning. He's a second baseman, played in the outfield for a while, but he really has stepped it up.
His arm
Yeah,
is crazy. Like he's a super athlete. I love that
yeah,
pickup. I love
huge.
that pickup.
Huge.
Love
He's
that
becoming
pickup.
one of my favorite Yankees. He's probably my third favorite Yankee at this point after Soto and Judge.
I
I
like
you
this
know
team. I
Cole
think this
has gone
team is the
down after
most.
what I saw. After I saw him walk Rafael Devers, I know that I've had a few guys on here. I said this to Greg Vaughn. He said I'm crazy, but that just upsets me. I'm sorry to see what he did with Rafael Devers. That still leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
Getting scared and walking him on 4 pitches. So let's make our predictions before we send the crowd off with an outro. What do you think's gonna happen? Let's hear the Hamptons Dave hot take on the Yankees postseason.
We're gonna sweep the Twins. I mean, we're gonna sweep KC, and we're gonna go. See, I think the Tigers are gonna go on a little run here.
I'm not afraid of Cleveland.
I'm not afraid of Cleveland at all. I'm not afraid of Detroit either. Just they got that, what's his name, Screwball or whatever his name is.
Scooble is nice.
Yeah, that's nasty. But yeah, I'm not afraid of any of those teams. I'm KC. I'm probably most. I've seen them play KC in person this year. They're good. Bobby Witt Jr. is the real, like the real deal. Guy is
He's nice. And he
top.
upstaged Gunnar Henderson
Yeah.
tremendously
Oh,
in
he was
that
the
wild
second
card.
best
Gunnar
player,
Henderson didn't get a single hit.
second or third best player in the AL this year.
Definitely the runner up for
Yeah,
MVP.
MVP. But
I'd
I don't
take him
think.
over Soto, not necessarily as
No, I'm
I
not
would.
taking him back. I'm not
No,
taking him
I
over
mean,
Soto for
in
MVP
terms of
voting this year.
MVP, yeah, for
Yes.
this year at least. And Jackson Jobe, or is it Joby? This new Tiger
Yeah.
that's out there closing. He was one of the top prospects
Yes.
in Major League Baseball. That is a person to fear. Yo, Detroit's bullpen
You
is
know who
really
else?
nice.
You know who else is going to be huge and always is a Yankee killer? Salvador Perez. Man,
Mm,
guy's so old, but he is so
still
nice.
out there.
He's a
Very
professional
frustrating.
hitter. Professional hitter. Um, yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna. I just hope we don't lose game. Like CC would always lose game one. Clemens lost a couple game once for us, but CC would always lose game one. I don't want to go out there and lay a dud on game one. I want to get it started. Let's just get right off the bat, take care of. Let's finish our breakfast and move on.
Garrett Cole's not known to come out. I mean, he lost that wild card game against the Red Sox a few years ago. There's a lot of guys that have to prove themselves. If there, this is a chance for a lot of Yankees to become legends. A lot of guys that will go down as great Yankees, but will actually be able to go down as some of the greatest
Garrett Cole,
Yankees
he
if
looked
they
like
win a
he's
World Series this year.
Garrett Cole looked like up until his last four starts, he was still working on things, still like in like a get back mode. Even if he was getting hit, he's still trying things.
Yeah.
Those last two outings, locked in, like that 9 inning game where we won in extra innings. That was like the best pitching performance I've seen this year. He's just got to not give up the long ball. That's it. That was his biggest flaw this year, is giving up the long ball. But
Him and Rodon.
yeah, well, Rodon scares me. But Rodon is
He's either lights out
yeah,
or
or
he's a head case. And I like that he's head case. I like that he screams and yells. I like that passion. Let us know what you think, folks. I know that there's so many people in Boston furious right now that we're just sitting here talking about the Yankees, but you know what, guys? Too bad. And if you want to leave some comments, go to our YouTube page at The Ryan Show FM and help out the algorithm. All good things must come to an end. Yes, even this radio program, but Hamptons Dave, fear not. It's good to have you back. Hopefully, you probably won't be back for another year because we can't do things in person. I'm stuck all the way out in the damn Hamptons, but
I'll be back.
you know you've got a seat here for you, just like Mr. Cheeks does as co-host of this radio program forever.
It's always
Girls,
Ryan's
get into
show.
his DMs while he's here at Hamptons Dave's. Anything you'd like to say to the lovely female audience out there?
Holla back, youngin. Woo woo.
I wouldn't say too much. We don't want to be no white ditty out here. Keep Mulder out here. No youngins around here. Everybody, thanks for listening to this week's show. And once again, if you want to hang out with Hamptons Dave and myself, you can go to MetLife Stadium. We're going to be at the very next game, Bills,
Jet
Jets.
life.
It goes down not this Sunday, but next Sunday. Go to savvyseats.com, order up some tickets under promo code Ryan, and make us look good. That's it, folks. We love you. Over and out. We'll see you next week. Peace.